Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN Winged Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Welcome in. It is MRN Winged Nation. Steve Post and Erin Evernham here, and we have a great program for you. Lynton Jeffrey's going to join us, and we're going to talk to Doug Johnson from up at Jackson Motorplex about a big season that they have coming up. But let's get right to it. The classic ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. And Erin, this first one, and we're going to talk to him in a little bit. How about Lynton Jeffrey going to Port Royal and whooping up on everybody?
It was such a neat story. I mean, I pulled up on the results the next morning, and I'm like, Lynton Jeffrey, Port Royal, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then to hear, I can't wait to talk to him about it, but a road trip by himself from Iowa and picks up the win in PA.
It really is. It is going to be good. So we will continue on that hot topic as Lynton joins us in just a few moments. One of the other hot topics is Kyle Larson. I know it's NASCAR, but Motor Racing Network, we were out at Auto Club Speedway in Southern California. We cover NASCAR, by the way. For you sprint car fans, that's mainly what we do. And when one of our sprint car guys wins in NASCAR, it lights up both sides of the fence, both sides of the equation. And I'm telling you, Kyle Larson, second 3 straight times, but he finally was able to seal the deal. And man, what a win at Auto Club. What a big
That was awesome. I was really happy for him. Like you said, 3 second places in a row, very frustrated. And I don't know if you saw, but his little son, Owen, before the race said his dad was going to run the wall like
That's
a typical sprint car driver.
Yep.
And got the W.
He actually, Winston Kelly was the reporter, our MRN guy that talked to him, and Winston asked him, what groove do you run? And that's what Kyle said, Owen wants me to run the wall. And so he did, and he won, and the sprint car world, I know through social media with my regular account, which I do a lot more NASCAR stuff on that, and then of course the Winged Nation account, both accounts were blowing up on Sunday night, and that was just really, really cool. So, and the other great thing I love with the Kyle Larson is what's he going to do to celebrate? Tomorrow night he's going to Placerville to run a World of Outlaw sprint car. Isn't that awesome?
That is. It's awesome. I love that about Kyle.
Some good stuff. Actually, there's a good story in USA Today. There was a little inaccuracy in some of the description, but the quotes from Chip Ganassi were really good as well. Chip, being the team owner, has a lot invested in Kyle and would prefer that he doesn't run the sprint cars. I think that's fair. I think that's understandable. But Chip also defers to Kyle on that. And he says Kyle seems to feel it makes him a better race car driver. And so Chip has deferred to Kyle. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's great leadership for Chip. You hire a professional race car driver, let the professional race car driver determine what's best for him.
I think it's great. And it's working.
It is working.
Look at the results.
There you go. I think that's really what the key is. And sadly, we're going to wrap up this hot topic with Dave Steele. I know that we covered dirt track racing and dirt track wing sprint car racing, but when the sprint car family has a tragedy and we lose one of our guys, it's a tragedy for all of us. Dave was a 2-time USAC Silver Crown champ, a 2-time winner of the Turkey Derby night, 60 wins in USAC, all on pavement, and then numerous wins in non-USAC races along the way. Erin, you and I were talking. You were, the way you described it, I think you were on the same track with him a few times.
Yes. It was an honor to be on the same racetrack with him. I wanted to say, I raced against him, but really there was no racing between him and I. He was in a league of his own. He was incredible to watch in a pavement sprint car, pavement midget, pavement Silver Crown car. So, yes, a wonderful person, and honestly, he was incredible to watch in one of those cars. But, yeah, there was no racing against. There was lapping. That was about it. That's the only time I saw him.
Yeah, when he went by, Nickname was Superman, and from all accounts, he was Superman behind the wheel of a race car. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Steele family and really the entire racing community. And interesting when we have these, how it touches so many different people along the way, because all of the paths of racing people are all intertwined, it seemed like. So our thoughts and prayers with everyone in Dave's family, and as we mentioned, with everyone across the board in the sprint car world. And there you have it. Those are your classic ink, screen printing, and embroidery hot topics. Great t-shirts, great hats, great sweatshirts, hoodies, whatever you need. Classic Ink has it, whether it's for your race team or your baseball team or the kids' little league team or a corporate event or a church event. They've got you covered. Check out all the great deals at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. We need to step away. When we come back, the hashtag was Aussie Posse. I don't know if he's Aussie Posse. I know he's Lynton Jeffrey, and he'll join us next.
Hi, I'm Craig Kinzer, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of our free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum's newest feature exhibit is our Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell, June 9th through October 15th, at the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Stop in and check out 8 of Sammy's original race cars and see his trophies, uniforms, and more as you learn about his outstanding career. The Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell is only this season at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Winged Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back. It is MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength, and let's go to the hotline. Joining us fresh off that win at Port Royal on Saturday night, Lynton Jeffrey's on the line. Hello, Lynton. Welcome back to MRN Winged Nation.
Thanks for having me.
Well, congratulations. Tell us about Saturday night at the Port.
Oh, it was pretty amazing. We're still really all very happy and excited about winning, out there in Pennsylvania. It's something I wanted to do for a really long time and something a lot of race car drivers dream of, and to get it accomplished was pretty special. And at Port Royal, it's one of my favourite places, and I love the people there, and they've always been good to me, and just something I'm really glad to have done for our team and our sponsors and fans and just everybody that gets behind my team and me.
So, Lynton, I read that you made the trip solo from Iowa. So was this planned, or was this kind of last minute? Did you have help when you got to the track? How'd it work?
I've been watching. It's something I really like to do is get out and run. I want to try and run a big half mile if I can, and that's why I've been known to drop into Port Royal before the start of the season at Knoxville. Well, I was looking at the weather, and it just, like next week, you mightn't have much to talk about because I think it's going to rain everywhere. It just looked like that, and I thought if I don't get the car together, and I just sort of did an all-nighter and a last-minute decision to go, and I did have a helper that was going to meet me, the young fella, and we're looking to have him come and stay out here with us and teach him and have some help. But his appendix blew up. He was pushing snow in New York City, and young Dalton, his name is. His appendix blew up. He ended up in the hospital. He didn't even know where he was. So I sort of got caught with my pants down on the way there and didn't have anybody. And I was fortunate that when I got to Attica, Ohio, I called James and Charlie Fisher. They built my motors for a while and good friends. And James was great, and he came out and gave me a hand. And we met a couple of other nice guys, Joe, I think, and I don't know what it is. I must hurt my guys because that guy broke his leg the next day, which was pretty sad. He sent me a message on Facebook with a picture of a broken leg. But he was really cool, and they all got in and helped me. It's just great racing family. We all get in and help each other, and it's one of the best things about what we do.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing, and that's one of the reasons I love sprint car racing and love wing sprint car racing. So you mentioned what's there about Port? Is it just that it's a big fast half mile, or what's there about Port that you've always liked that track? Because now Ashley Stremme, she co-hosts our MAV TV show, and she said, you used to race there all the time. What's there about Port that has always attracted you to that track?
Well, it wasn't that I raced there all the time. What actually happened is when I first came to America in 2001, I had a ride for a guy out in New Jersey. His name was Jeff Brackowitz, and he was a bit of a character, and he more or less told me, a lot of things that was going to be there, and when I got there was pretty much nothing. But it was an experience and a learning experience for me, and when I got there, we went down to that we were planning to race at Williams Grove. I didn't even know about Port Royal, to be honest. I thought we'd be racing at Lincoln every week, and when we got to Williams Grove and raced that first time, a gentleman came up and said, I think it was Steinley, came up and said, hey, would you like to come up and race at Port with us tomorrow night? And I said, he said, we'd take care of you and give you some gas money to come up there, and we got a big fast half mile. And I said, sure, that sounds good. Something back for the car owner, and that's how it sort of started. But I went there, and just everybody was just so nice, and I just took to the racetrack somewhat. I ran really well that first day, and I felt like, it wasn't a few weeks later, I met Kevin Fry, who was trucking up to through New Jersey, and I used to eat at this little diner, and he came and he had racing T-shirts on, and no one around there has anything to do with sprint cars, so it was kind of funny. And him and old Tom from Knoxville, that used to work, was Trossell's son-in-law. They were there, and we kind of became friends, and he'd drop in and pick me up. Well, he ended up saying, hey, I'll mechanic the car for you, I'll help you out. And pretty much the first night we ran Port, I ran top 5. I was running second all the way, and Kaufman put a slider on me at the end, and as he would, and I just wasn't experienced enough to deal with it and kind of balled it up. But it just, I don't know, it just suits me. I know I've always just really enjoyed being there. It's a high-speed, fast place, and it gets your attention.
So talking about the win on Saturday night, it sounded like you were pretty dominant early on. You took the lead early in the race. But I read in the article that Blaney got by you with 3 to go, and it kind of lit a fire under you, and you passed him right back and took off. Tell us a little bit about the actual race.
Well, I started on the front line with Lafferty, and he's a good racer around there, a good solid racer. He runs his own team and stuff. And last time I was there, I ran second. It was a few years ago to him, and I think he got the lead, and I slid him, and he slid me back, and I slid him back again, and finally got to the top. And I have really, really fast HP engines, and it's a big racetrack, and all I had to do was open that thing up and let it go. But the car was really, really good, and I just had to sit there and try not to make mistakes. And as the laps wind down, you just try and smooth out and try and make sure that you're hitting your marks. And you could feel that the left rear tyre was copping abuse. And I was just really careful to try not to abuse it any more than I needed to. And, I'm pretty sure that Dale bombed it in from a long way back and probably knew he wasn't going to make it, because all I did is just get up there and really kind of finish off the race. I mean, I did. It was kind of it was exciting for the fans, I'm sure, but from where I sat, once I went down in 3 and 4, I knew that I was really just reopening it back up again and letting it roll. So I probably got a bit lazy there through the latter part of the race. So
that's fascinating, absolutely amazing. Lynton, before we cut you loose, what's the schedule? What's the plan for this year? Do you have anything laid out, or are you just going to jump in the truck and go?
No. I'm gonna race at Badlands a couple races, but we'll have a car at Knoxville every week. That's the plan. Next couple of weeks we'll be in I-34 Raceway at Burlington, and I'm kind of looking forward to. I'd like to go and run Granite City again. I really like that track, enjoy that track. Maybe I'll get there on the Friday night before the opening night at Knoxville if I can, and then we'll just. The other big thing I'm going to do this year is I'm going to get up and try and run the track championship at Jackson. I feel like that's another track I really enjoy. It's a big, fast half mile. It's something that I don't know. For a guy that runs the bottom and grew up on short tracks, I don't know. Some of them big tracks, they're fun to race too. So I don't know. I sort of have seemingly got better and better. I think that's something to do with racing at Knoxville weekly for 10 years or 12 years or whatever it is.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, Lynton, congratulations on the win. Thanks for the time today and continued success. I know we'll see you. We'll see you at Jackson. We'll see you at Knoxville along the way. But thanks for joining us here on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
There we go. Lynton Jeffrey joining us. That's just fascinating. It seems like his whole life is I was here and I saw someone with a T-shirt, and I was here in this one, and this guy didn't show up, but this one did show up. That's fascinating. It's just the gypsy style is what it boils down to.
Yeah, absolutely. A true outlaw style racer.
And goes into Pennsylvania and wins.
By himself.
But now, so everyone wanted to get all fired up about this whole posse thing, but Ashley's like putting water on everybody, and she says, he came here first. He's posse. So they've claimed him to some degree that they can. I just think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating when you look at Port Royal, who's going to be battling for the lead, Lynton Jeffrey and Dale Blaney.
Yeah, who would have thought that a year ago?
Hotnet's third. You know what I mean? So that's great stuff, and that's why we have such a good spot with 410 Racing the way it is now. Now, Lynton Jeffrey mentioned Jackson, and he's going to be wheeling it up there. We're going to be wheeling it to Jackson as well. We'll tell you about that, and we'll tell you all the things. A lot of great things happening up at Jackson. Doug Johnson from Jackson, he joins us next.
I'm Danny Holcraver, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly. Eventually it's going to happen. You'll turn the key and your engine won't start. Don't lose your ability to get around. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for a Superstart battery. Whether it's a reliable economy, hard-working premium, or powerful extreme, you'll find it at an everyday low price. Don't let a dead battery slow you down. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
It is MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Thanks again for joining us. You know, for over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge, developing products that help engines perform at their best. Their latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner and Fuel Stabilizer. It deep cleans your entire fuel system and helps keep stored fuel fresh. So it is STP Race Week as we go into Martinsville this weekend. And I don't know, a week or so back, it was that we announced, we got involved with this, we're going to Jackson. We're going to Jackson. We're going up for the Jackson Nationals. We'll talk about that a little bit, but there's a lot more going on in Jackson than just us two going up there along the way. And Doug Johnson joins us from the Speedway, the general manager up there. Hey, Doug, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Good. We want to talk about the Nationals a little bit, but what's going on? How are things preparing as you guys you guys are toward the latter part as far as openers go because of the geography of where you're at, but how are things going? How's your off-season been, and how are things looking for this year?
Well, there really never is an off-season in this part of it. I mean, for the racers there is, but, you know, we've been working hard all winter long and coming up with a game plan for this season and beyond, and it's a gorgeous day up here right now, getting a lot of work done. We got a new elevator going in on the backside of the bleachers. We're putting up a guardrail off of Turn 2. We got our campground, new campground going in on the east side of the racetrack. So there's a lot of things going on, you know, that we're just trying to get ready for the season. Our season doesn't start till about 4 weeks from this Friday is our first Frostbuster for the IMCA stock cars. And then 2 weeks after that, we open with our spring nationals for all sprint car classes. So, you know, we're getting ready and, you know, getting a lot of work done. And it's kind of been a wet spring here lately, but it's a gorgeous day today. Things are drying out, and hopefully here, you know, the rain holds off here the rest of the week and we can get some more of the work done around the facility here at Jackson.
Doug, I read a neat quote in one of your articles about the racetrack about you watching your father 38 years ago prepare the track and prepare for the Nationals. What is it like growing up on that side of the sport, the promotion side of the owning the track, and how have you seen the sport change?
Well, it's changed a lot. You know, I mean, as you guys can well attest, I mean, so much has changed in auto racing here, especially in the last 10 to 15 years. But, you know, I mean, I remember coming to the races with my parents here as a kid, sitting in the stands, the old wooden bleachers, and you know, the Jackson Speedway has always been a mainstay here in town. I mean, we're not a large town here in Jackson, about 3,300 people, but I mean, it's a racing community. Everybody here in town and around the area, I mean, they're avid sprint car fans. You know, I've been out to Pennsylvania, and I know you got the posse out there, but I tell you what, I think next to the posse, we probably got the most avid race fans in the entire country right here in the upper Midwest, not just including Jackson, but I take the Sioux Falls, Knoxville area, the whole upper Midwest. So it's just, you know, the whole racing gamut has really changed over the years. You know, it's, you know, now it's kind of like a business. You got to run it as a business, and, you know, it's just evolving. And I think, you know, the tracks that are keeping up with the changes and making the changes are the ones that are going to survive and you know, do well going into the future.
3 or 4 years ago, I had the chance to talk to your boss man, the owner of the track, Todd Quering, and Todd shared that same passion for Jackson that you just shared. This is part of the town. This is what we are. This is who we are. We're at Jackson, Minnesota. This is a racetrack, and he shared with me a vision for the Jackson Nationals. He didn't say we're going to knock Knoxville off the podium, because we all understand, we know where Knoxville is. But one of Todd's goals was to make the Jackson Nationals one of those races. He said, we want to be in that category where maybe we're not Knoxville, but Kings Royal, National Open, those type races. And it sounds like you guys are going a long way to do it. That's coming up on June 1st through the 3rd. You even mentioned the campgrounds being expanded and growing. Now's the time for people to start planning to go to the Jackson Nationals, because it's going to be a long weekend. But what all do you have planning coming up for the big Nationals on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd?
Well, we've got a lot. You know, the one thing that we just added here probably a month or so ago is we added another class of sprint cars. So that gives us 3 classes of sprint cars with the World of Outlaws, 360 sprints, and the Race Saver 305 sprints. So we're going to have 3 complete shows all 3 nights for 3 classes of sprint cars. So if you're a sprint car fan, this is heaven. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than this. So, you know, we're actually, it's funny you mentioned this, because we actually have a planning meeting here this afternoon, working with the Area Chamber of Commerce, AGCO, who's our title sponsor. You know, they're behind this 110% and supporting everything that we're doing up here. And, you know, we're trying to make this an event for the fans. You know, so you come to Jackson, okay, the races are at night, so what do you do during the day? You know, we're planning different things. We're going to have a golf tournament on Wednesday. You know, we're going to have some driver autograph sessions and stuff planned at AGCO on Friday. And, you know, having you guys here broadcasting with Winged Nation, I think, is going to be huge. We're really looking forward to that and can't wait for you guys to get here. But, you know, there's just a lot of things going around. The community's 110% behind this, and we're planning different activities. We're going to have, you know, pancake feeds in the morning and, you know, all kinds of different stuff. We're going to have, you know, a kids zone, stuff for the kids to do. And, you know, we know we'll never be the Knoxville Nationals, and we're not trying to be. But, you know, we want to make this a destination that people put on their calendars every year, just like they do the Knoxville Nationals or, you know, the Chili Bowl and those big events. And you can come to town for 3 or 4 days and, you know, spend the whole day, so the whole weekend here and, you know, just be entertained the whole time you're here.
And I'm telling you what, this is going to be fun. It really is. You mentioned it. We are going, the Winged Nation, we're going to do a show every night from 5 to 6 right there on the stage in the Midway area, and we'll have all the drivers and everyone. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to throw out some free stuff and get everyone fired up before they go inside into the grandstands to have the racing and to have all the fun. And it is just going to shape up. I know we'll talk to you down the road as we get closer. And, of course, we're going to talk a lot about it as we go forward and get closer and closer to our road trip. But we certainly wish you the best on the season opener, which is coming up in about 4 weeks. And then when the sprint cars roll in there a few weeks after that. And I know we'll talk between now and then. Thanks for the invite. We've accepted the invite for the Nationals. Erin and I are going to be there. We can't wait to get up there and see what you guys are doing. So we look forward to it.
Looking forward to having you guys. So just like I said, just want to make sure everybody knows, you know, the Jackson Nationals last year were in September. This year we're moving up to June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So, you know, like I said, if you're a sprint car fan, you don't want to miss this. And, you know, it's the the town is starting to fill up. The motels are starting to fill up. So if everybody's looking to to book your rooms and get plans made, I would suggest doing it as soon as possible.
Boy, I hope Kreger booked our rooms. I gotta have to work on this. Now that you mentioned that, Doug, I gotta check.
We'll be in the campground.
Well, maybe we'll be in the camp. Oh, that would
That
be.
might be dangerous.
That might be dangerous. Oh boy, that sounds good. Doug, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
There we go. That's Doug Johnson joining us from Jackson Motorplex. That is going to be fun.
That is going to be a lot of fun. And I love hearing what they're doing to make it an event. I think I told you a long time ago I went to Knoxville for the first time during the Nationals. This was like 2000. And there was nothing to do during the day. So I love that all the promoters, Knoxville's done a great job of it, but to hear Jackson doing the same.
It's going to be big.
Great.
It's June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Get your hotel rooms. Get your tickets right now, folks. Get the camper all gassed up and get ready to go. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to see if we can find some hotel rooms as well. Let's step away. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney, and you're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of our free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Only the best go 3 abreast, and they're coming to a track near you in 2017. No matter where you're at, the American Sprint Car Series is near you. From the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by the Mad TV Motorsports Network, to any of the 7 ASCS Regional Tours, there's over 150 nights of racing to choose from in 2017. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. Listen live on RacingBoys.com and get the full rundown at ASCSRacing.com.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Thank you for joining us. It is MRN Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength, and we're all fired up because we're going to Jackson. Sounds like the Johnny Cash song. Now, yeah, but I think that's a different Jackson. Yeah, I think so. Oh, well. Let's talk a little bit about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located right off from turn number 2 in Knoxville. And when we look at birthdays, today would have been the birthday of Hank Arnold. Now, this is why the Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame, and it is a great place. Hank died in 1967 in a sprint car crash at Manzanita, and tragically perishing in a sprint car crash is still part of our sport, but not nearly as prevalent as it was back in those days. But Hank Arnold, a 2010 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, described as an easygoing guy outside of the car and a fierce competitor inside the car. He would attract fans before the race by giving them bubble gum. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, the kids must have loved it.
Kids must have loved that. Absolutely. He was an accomplished racer, but a notorious builder, and one of the cool things he did is he named his race cars. Cherry Bomb, Party Doll, Payola, You Pay to Play, Twister. Some of the names. So I like that. It sounds like a real character.
It sounds like a real character for sure. Yeah. Interesting names,
Cherry Bomb.
too. Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Creative.
Payola. Would you drive a car called Payola? Well, I don't know, but you can read all about it at the National Sprint Car and Museum, located turn number 2, Knoxville, Iowa. And you can find out more information at sprintcarhof.com. That's www.sprintcarhof.com. Before we get out of here as well, I want to send our best to Tom Schmay. I guess Tom is fighting
some health issues.
Fighting some health issues.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. So our best to Tom Schmay. Erin, we don't have to wait long. We don't have to wait long. It's the Brad Sweet Placerville Short Track Showdown presented by Napa Auto Parts, and it's tomorrow night, Wednesday night on Dirt Vision. Oh,
very excited.
Very excited indeed, and I don't know if I'm more excited about that or more excited that I love the West Coast swing, but guys, you got to race on the East Coast time zone.
With the baby getting up in the morning, it's tough to stay up for the feature.
It is, it really is, but that is Wednesday night. DirtVision.com if you can't make it to Placerville, but you really need to get to Placerville to catch them racing out there as well. Hey, we appreciate Lynton Jeffrey and Doug Johnson for joining us, but more important than that, Thank you for joining us here today.
You've been listening to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.